This is activity 4, seeing the puzzle from lesson 1, number puzzles. So here's a puzzle for you. It says that Andre and Elena read the same book over the summer. Andre says that he read 1/5 of the book. Elena says that she read 20 more pages than Andre read. So if Elena is on page 55, how many pages are in the book? And Lynn made this drawing, and there's an error in this drawing. So the question is, what is the error that she made? And notice she does divide this rectangle into 5 equal parts, but is 1/5 of the book equal to 55 pages? No, it's not. 55 pages is what Elena read. 1/5 of the book is equal to what Andre read. So this little a right here is what Andre read. And so the book, the size of the book is 5 times the 1/5 of the book that Andre read. So it's 5 times this small rectangle here, not 5 times the 55 pages. That's what Elena read. So if I redraw this, I have the book. I divided the book up into 5 equal parts, and Andre read 1/5 of the book. That's this part right here. So what did Elena read? She read the same amount as Andre read plus 20 more pages. So Elena read 55 pages, and that's 20 more pages than what Andre read right here. 20 more pages than Andre. So Andre read how much? Well, you take that 55 pages and you subtract these 20 pages, and you get what Andre read, which is 35 pages, which means the whole book is 5 times 35, or 175 pages. So Andre plus 20 equals the 55 pages. And then subtract this 20 pages from Andre. Subtract this 20 pages from Andre plus 20 pages. That gets you to what Andre read. He read 55 pages minus 20, or plus a negative 20 pages. So Andre read 35 pages, and that's 1/5 of the book. So that 35 pages is equal to 1/5 of the book, 1/5 of the book. So that means the whole book is 5 times as much. And you can see that. If Andre read 1/5 of the book, the whole book is 5 times as much. That is the multiplicative inverse of 1/5. You multiply by 5, which is the reciprocal of 1/5, or the multiplicative inverse, and you get the length of the book. So 5 times 35 equals 175 pages. Now, one of the goals in working with these puzzles is to try to see the whole puzzle as a single equation. So I would go back to say that the book is equal to 175 pages, and I'm putting it in these brackets here because I want to make everything inside here equal to 175 as I go through changing this to a single equation. So we know that that 175 pages is the same as 5 times what Andre read. So 5 times what Andre read is the length of the book, which is 175 pages. We also know that Andre's length here is Elena minus 20 pages. So Elena, which is this length, minus that 20 pages, gives you what Andre read. So this Andre here, can be replaced with Elena minus 20 pages. So the length of the book is 5 times Elena minus 20, and we know that Elena is equal to 55 pages. So if you work back through it, 55 minus 20 is 35. 5 times 35 is equal to this 175. But this is one of the ideas of these problems, is to get the puzzle to a single equation and then be able to work backwards in your thinking. And how do you solve for, in this case, the length of the book.